So, who's ready for a shop update? Let's get to it. How fancy is this? All this really is 2x4s, cedar fence boards, and a headboard off my kid's old bed. Stained it, cleared them. This is a flat, what is this? Ivory silk. It's a high class. But this is another example. You don't need a whole lot of special tools. Just a little bit of imagination to get yourself out there, get something made. But let's get on some other stuff. So on the previous video, I made these beds for the Mitre saw station. And I know in the beginning I said maybe next weekend I'll get the hutch built, a hood. Well, I went ahead and already did it. I wanted to tape the process, but I kind of did it on a whim. I had these frames sitting around that I made for something else, and they just so happened to work out. So I used all this extra plywood. So on the previous video, I made these beds for the Mitre saw station. And I know in the beginning I said maybe next weekend I'll get the hutch built, a hood. Well, I went ahead and already did it. I wanted to tape the process, but I kind of did it on a whim. I had these frames sitting around that I made for something else, and they just so happened to work out. So I used all this extra plywood, and we'll stop at this point. So I already have the frames made up, and I just used all this extra scrap 1/4-inch ply I had laying around, a bunch of picking tables I had to build. So it's just a basic frame setup. The most core support is from the plywood. Now it does stick out past the back of the hood, but it's because these frames are only so long I didn't want to use my good stock, so I was just trying to recycle what I already had. I'll bring you in here real quick. So it's just the frames, glued up butt joints, and then I just nailed on the plywood on the back of it. There's no frame on the back. I just plywood screwed straight to it. You can see it's catching probably 80%. Some of it is getting out through the slot in the back for the sliding rails. But like I said, the reason that's there because these were too short to go past the rails. I was trying to recycle the material I already had. But for the most part, this saw works great. But like I said in the video before, getting it square is a pain in the ass. And this blade, these are $30 at Harbor Freight. I'm gonna go ahead and spend the 50 to 60 and get a nice actual 12-inch blade. But every third tooth is already broken off. I mean, it still cuts nicely, but other than that, for the price that you can pay for one of these, they're not half bad. They work out fairly good. I'm going to take you over here and show you a bunch of other things I've already done in the past couple days. So here we are in the main area of the shop where I do a lot of my work, keep all my stuff organized over here. This past week I went ahead and stripped everything down. I'll show you the lowers in a minute. Painted the uppers. I put on new hinges, the ones that I made. Shitty, so. And it's just got the regular little clips that hold the doors in. And over here, what I went ahead and did, I'll just grab it, is I took down, I had a small piece of pegboard over here, I took it down, put a big one here for all my spring clamps there, put all my screws and small nails over here, and kind of rearranged all this stuff. As you can see here, I painted all the lower cabinets and I added a redwood trim to it. Over here I started using my block plane. Actually, speaking of block planes, I was at a yard sale and I bought this big old tub full of electrical stuff, outlets, wiring, nut caps, all kinds of stuff. And I was looking in one of the little plastic bins, I saw this. says Stanley, made in England. I'm not sure what number it is, but I think it's very close. The marks are just from me. This thing is practically brand new. I didn't do a single thing to it. It just got some dust on it from what I did. Hopefully you can see it. You can see the blade. It's nice and flat. It's got a nice edge to it. I paid $20 for the whole box of stuff. The box alone was $40 by itself. It's a Gorilla box. And just to get this in it, it's icing on the cake. And that's the other one that I restored a while back. This one's made in USA. I couldn't find actual numbers on it, but I'm starting to get sick. I'm going to show you something else real quick. So over here, I set up, I'll zoom it in a minute, but I set up a 1-inch grid system. It's 4 foot this way, 27 inches this way. Squares, 1 inches, top, bottom, left, right. It's all nice and square. What I did was I took my long square 4 foot square, ran my lines this way, ran them that way, marked it every inch. The reason I did this is so I can set up, I can bring a board here and bring a board here. And that way I can check my fitment and my layout will be nice and set up at a 90 degree. Or say you're laying something out and when it gets to rough measurement, you know every one of these is on an inch. So it makes it a lot easier to get the tape measure, get the ruler. If you just want a quick rough measurement, set it here, there you go, make your mark, and you're ready to go. Bring it in closer. I've already got paint all over it already. It starts one here, one there, 2 up that way, all up to 27. And over here it comes all the way over to 47 and about a half of the edge of the table. I wish I would have done something a little more permanent than just marker. I've already got some paint on it over here. But I've already used it a couple times for making a couple things. Got one here, one there. Squared it up, shot my nails, and it works out pretty nice. So recently I picked up a second table saw. It looked exactly like my Rockwell saw, and turns out, even though it looked just like it, everything was literally half an inch off. The fence system, the rails, everything is the exact same looks, but everything was off. So I was hoping to kind of take both of them and make one nice one. Wasn't able to do it, so I used a couple pieces off. I got these nice big turn handles, this one and that one off of there. I got the extension wings off of it, and other than that, that's all I could really use off it because everything else, nothing lined up with what's on this one. Also, I built this the other week. I didn't make a video. I should have. But all it is, it just holds all my push sticks. I got all my blades in here. I really like these. I saw Frank Howarth on some of his videos. He has a push stick that looks like it's hand saws. So I took one of mine, just traced it out, and these things work awesome for hand saws. Or for push sticks, push blocks. So if you get a chance, get a couple minutes, I'd really recommend making something like this. Gives you a lot of room to grab the board and keep it close to the fence, and gives you a good grip on things. Having this right here really helps out a lot. You can keep all your stuff right there, right where you need it, to hang in and in the way. Let's get to something else. One more thing too. Surprisingly, you probably wouldn't know this, but Dollar Store actually has some halfway decent tools. You got these little 1-inch, 2-inch, whatever size they are, spring clamps. And they're pretty good shape. They work nicely. You can get a 4-pack of these for $1. I think I've bought in 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. I've got 20 of these for $5. You can't really argue with that. And then also, for light duty stuff, you can get the 2-inch ones for $1. And then, actually, wait, I take that back. There and there. Well, you can get the 2-inch and the 1-inch for $1. So I got 6 packs of these. And you can get a 3-inch one of this for just $1. Now, yeah, granted, these are probably going to wear out over time. But if you're not doing too heavy of stuff, if you just want to do a quick glue up, not a whole lot of pressure, these are perfect for that. These ones are Harbor Freight. They're a little bit heavier duty. The threads are a lot nicer. These ones are $1 a piece also. I've noticed a lot of people on YouTube use Harbor Freight clamps. I've never had a single problem with any of them except for I got 16 of these and one of them failed. Doing quick hold ups and glue ups, holding something real quick, those work perfect. Okay, so that concludes my shop update, vlog, tour thingy, majig. So hopefully I don't get too sick and get another video out in a couple of days. I got some things I'm working on, some cool videos coming up. And I hope the camera quality is still looking pretty good. This is my new camera. It's a Flip HD. It's got a wide angle lens on it. It's got one of these on there. Makes a huge difference. It's actually, literally, it's super glued onto it. But I'm happy with the way it looks, the way it sounds. So, thank you for watching.